Welcome to Bloomerang Academy. Thank you for joining us. Today we will be talking about Kindful, particularly contact management in Kindful. I will be your guide today. My name is Micah James. I am one of the strategic database consultants at Bloomerang and Kindful. I've been in the nonprofit space for more than 10 years, and I am a certified fundraising executive. I'm excited to join you and share about Kindful today. Today we will be going over how to add a contact to a group, how to use our import data tool, how to manage your contact duplicates, and how to customize your contact fields and relationships. In Kindful, managing contacts is the key to good data. In Kindful, contacts are the building blocks of this good data and the foundation of any data that goes into your database. Having standardized contact entry in your organization allows for better fundraising because it allows for reliable data. Properly entering your contact information from the very beginning of using Kindful allows for less edits and more efficient use of your staff time resources. But don't worry, you can start this proper entering at any point in your database use. And good data allows for proper segmentation and cultivation into the future of your organization. So let's start from the very beginning, the basics of adding a contact. On your dashboard, you will see a green button. To add a contact, you will click on the green Add New button. A menu will drop down with multiple choices. You will select Contact. From this, a new page will appear where you will enter the details of your new contact. To get started, you will select the contact type you want to enter, whether this is an organization or a person. Note that the fields will change based on which type you select. From here, please complete as many of the fields as you can at this time. We will go over this together in a live database in just a minute. Once a contact is created, a dashboard is created for each individual contact. Much like your overview database for your whole database, each individual contact has its very own dashboard. This dashboard is where you will see an overview of the information that is gathered on that particular contact. You will see a summary of the basic information such as name, email address, mailing address, and financial contributions over their lifetime. Much in alignment with your organization's database dashboard, you will see contact, acquisition, retention, and upgrade information about a particular contact. This allows you to understand when this contact engaged with you, how they were acquired, and what you are doing to retain this contact. Other information on the dashboard includes tasks, recent activities, related contacts, household transactions, groups, campaigns they've supported, and tax summary or reports. Once you've created a contact, you can put contacts in groups to help manage them. It's helpful to put contacts in groups because segmenting constituents into groupings based on common factors helps you manage them better. It also creates a unique dashboard for these groupings to help you see the giving patterns and trends of the people in this group. And if you are using one of our email marketing integrations, it helps you sync this group to these platforms for easy communication. This is an example of what a group dashboard would look like. Once you put constituents or contacts in a group, you can see financial information of the people that are in that group altogether. The total members, the active recurring, the year-to-date transactions, and total transactions of the members of this group. You can also see the financial breakdown of the last 3 years, the giving by campaign, and demographic information. This will be updated in real time as the donors give the information and as you add members to the group. Let's get into Kindful and see how this comes to life. On your dashboard, you can see the total number of contacts that you have at any given time right here under the contact field. Recurring donors, but your total number of contacts is right here. In my dashboard, it currently says I have 63 total contacts. As we talked about a moment ago, to add a new contact, you're going to click on the Add New button, select Contact. It's going to open a new page, and you're going to have the option to choose person or organization, depending on which type of information you want to enter into your database. We're going to enter a sample person. As I mentioned, just enter as much information as you can to create the profile. If you don't have all the information for all the fields, that is fine. Most of the time, you will likely not have all the information, and that is perfectly acceptable. Once you are done entering the information, you can scroll down to the bottom and press Create, or you can simply press Enter. You'll notice that a banner was created that told us that we had successfully created our contact. Now we can go find Roger. Roger has been created, and you'll notice that the icon here says person. If we had created an organization, there would have been a building icon here to represent that this was an organizational profile. Inside any profile, you will see an overview of that information, just like we discussed earlier. If you click on the Profile tab, this is where you will manage the contact information, the communication preferences, the related contacts, groups, notes, or files. For further information, you can also manage payment preferences, recurring transactions, and pledges on the Payment Information tab. And when you click on the History tab, you can see that anybody who has edited this information will appear under this History tab. So if anybody in your organization has made an update to this profile, you can see that under the History tab. Let's go back to Profile. We can see that the information that we entered when we created this contact is here, both the email address and the mobile number. If I want to make an edit and move the mobile number to the phone number, I can simply do so, and you'll notice that there is an unsaved change banner up here. That banner will save until I either press Enter to save that change or come down here to the bottom and press Save. I'm going to press Enter. That is as easy as it is to update a contact in Kindful. When we click on Preferences, you will notice that there are a bunch of preferences that you can manage inside of Kindful. We will not go into in-depth in how these work with our integrations at this time, but you can know that you can manage these right here on the Preferences tab. Related contacts, this is where you can manage how someone is related to another contact in your database. If we click on New Related Contact, you will see that there are a list of options that are already in Kindful as standard options. If you choose one that is a household relationship, you will get an option to create a household. This is an option for you, and this will map to our mail merge tool and to the dashboard of each constituent that is mapped in this relationship in their household transactions. When we talk about groups, when we want to add someone to a group, you can add them on this page if the group has already been created. Let's go back and talk about how you can create a group from scratch. To create a group from scratch, go into the contact space and filter for the type of group that you want to create. Maybe we want to figure out everybody who lives in a particular state. It looks like we have 2 people that live in Florida. So on this side here, you'll see that you have several options for working with your contacts. At this point, because we filtered down to the contacts that we want, we're going to select all. Once we press select all, you'll notice that more options appear. At this time, we're going to select add or remove group. This gives us the option to add or remove the selected contacts from a group. A box will appear and we can choose to add or remove the selected contacts from a group. So at this time, we can add these contacts to an existing group, or we can create a new group. You also have the ability to add anybody who is related in a household contact to this group as well. So if anyone was a household relationship to either one of these contacts, if we select this box, they would also be added to this group. We are not going to choose this at this time. Once I press save, these 2 contacts will be added to this group. After a group has been made, you can see all existing groups under the group tab. And as we mentioned before, once I click on that group, I can see a group dashboard and see the demographics and financial transaction information for everybody who lives in that group. You can edit the group and give it a description, or you can view the members of that group and see those 2 members that we just added. Once a group is made, you can add people to that group, just like we showed before, going to their contact profile, to their groups, and adding or removing from that group. But starting and adding a group from scratch, you do have to go to the contact space, filter for the information that you want, and add or subtract at least 1 member of the group to create that group from the very beginning. The next important tool to understand in Kindful when managing your contacts is the access to our import data tool. Many of you have imported data from the very beginning of your database as a part of your implementation process, but you have access to manage and import this data as an ongoing basis with our import data tool. When you click on import data, you will be led to a different import data screen. You will be able to start a new import and select from here what you are importing. You have the option of contacts only, contacts and transactions only. Each of these will prompt you to download the correct template from which you will base your import on. Part of the resources that are available to you in the help desk and with our support team is these templates and information about this import tool. If you'd like to read more and understand more about the difference and how this tool works after this webinar, you are more than happy to access our support team or our help documents. For this example, we are going to do contacts only. It's going to prompt us to download the contact template. It will give you a CSV. The CSV will have headers that align with the Kindful standard templates. Once you have downloaded this template and put your information in this template, you will continue to upload. You will click and drag your information into this tool, or you will click and select a file. So I'm going to drag my data into this tool. Once your data is in this tool, I'm going to continue to match. It will give you a status of how your information is loading and if it needs to be matched. If at any point you get an error in this page, there is likely something wrong with your data. It could be a duplicated column header or a total at the bottom of your data, which will likely cause errors. Eliminate these duplicates or totals and try to load your data again. Once you get loaded and needs matching, click Match. It will bring you to a page where you can match the column head of your CSV with the standard fields already available to you in Kindful. So just make sure that it selected the right information for you from the list. Looks like I had region and it was state or province, which is the standard. Looks like my postal zip didn't have a space, so Kindful didn't see that. So I need to map it with our zip code field, postal code field here. And you'll notice that red banner went away that said it needed matching. Once all of the fields are mapped, you can press Save Matches. You'll notice that it is working on matching. And once it says matched, you can press Continue. The import will load into your sandbox and you will get an email when it is ready for you to review. Until this is ready, you can go back to your dashboard and work on other things. Another tool that is available to you is a contact duplicate tool. This tool helps you manage duplicates in your system. Kindful manages duplicates based on a number of items: name, email, last name, zip code, address information, phone number, or organization name. We would rather you take a look at it and make sure that it's the right match than us accidentally merge two things together. So if the first name, last name, and email address are not an exact match, it is likely that you will find duplicates in this duplicate tool. It is suggested that particularly in your first few months as a Kindful customer, that you review this duplicate tool regularly to manage these duplicates. We can see that we have different addresses, but the same email address. If you believe that these are the same person, but this person has just updated their email address, you can press Preview. The primary record is what is in Kindful right now. The potential duplicate is what is come into Kindful, maybe from an import, maybe from a recent donation. And you can see what the merged information would look like in the end. It would take the primary records information and the potential duplicates information and merge them into one contact. If this is how you would like to have the contact appear in your database, press Merge. If you would like to swap which address or information is primary, press Switch Primary Record. And you'll notice that the merge preview changes based on which record is primary. If you would like to learn more about how this works and which fields are overwritten in merging, please reach out to Help Articles or our support team to learn more about this. If you know that the contact is the same just on looking at it, you do not have to use the preview tool. You can simply press Merge. And it will say one contact pair is scheduled for merging. Depending on the amount of information that is in each contact profile, this could happen relatively quickly, or it could take several minutes for the profiles to become merged. It's just dependent on how much information is needing to be merged into one profile. So just be patient and check back regularly. A moment ago, we talked about custom fields, relationships, and those particular things that you can manage on a contact profile. In settings, under contact settings, you will be able to see custom contact settings. Contact relationship types are those relationship types that can create a household, but also you have the ability to create custom relationship types and custom contact fields for any particular contact. Let's start with custom contact relationship types. As you can see here, the list of contact relationship types is the same as we saw earlier when we were talking about creating a household. If your organization needs an additional relationship type, you have the ability to create a new relationship type by clicking on this button here. You can give it a name and press create. You will notice down here at the bottom that you now can see the newly created relationship type, and it will keep account of how many contacts are mapped to this particular custom relationship type. As you create relationships in your database, you can come back to this page and see how many contacts are mapped to any particular relationship type. Now, if we go back to contact settings, go back to custom contact settings, and go to contact field groups. These custom contact field groups allow you to create custom groupings of information that are not standard in Kindful's system already. Examples of this might be social media information, favorite colors, food preferences, or any other creative ways that you might want to manage information on behalf of your constituents. So let's create one now. A very common one is social media information. You might want to track the information based on how to engage with your constituents on social media. So this is a contact information. So we might want to, in this example, we might want to create a field to track Facebook links, which would be a text field that we could fill in with their Facebook handle or link. We also might want to know their Twitter handle. Or we might want to know their Instagram name. Once I submit these custom fields will populate on every contact profile throughout your database. Just like anything else, depending on the size of your database, this could take just a few moments or it could take several minutes to populate throughout your database. When we go look at contacts now, and we go to profile, and we go to contact information, which is where we mapped those new contact fields to. If we scroll all the way down to the bottom, we can now see that those custom fields that we just created are there and ready to be used. You can use them instantly and they are available on each contact. You are able to create as many custom contact field groupings as you need. Now let's go back and check out our import and see if it's ready. It is. When your import is ready for review, it will have the status ready for review instead of processing. We can click on review to review our information. On this summary page, we can see that our import had 100 contacts and they joined in this year date. For financial imports or transaction imports, you will see summary information of that transaction information, the campaigns, the transaction totals, and any other related information. But in this case, it's just giving us a contact summary. We want to go to our sandbox to see how the information will look in Kindful before we finalize it. Notice at the top, the red banner that says this is not your live account. You cannot make changes or updates to any of the data that is in your sandbox. This is simply a reflection of the file that you have imported. Any changes need to be made on the file and re-imported if you see errors. So we can look at the contacts and see that we have several contacts here. We can go to the dashboard and I can confirm that there's no transaction information here. And if everything looks good, I can click back to import, review. And if I'm ready to import this information into my live account, I can click on Finalize Import. Kindful is going to prompt you to make sure that you have checked everything, because once this information is in your live account, this action cannot be undone. So I have thoroughly reviewed my data and I'm ready to proceed to push this information into my live account. This can take a few minutes up to several minutes, depending on how large the import is. So we can proceed. You will get an email when the import is completed. Contact management in Kindful is the foundation of having good data. When we talk about having great data in Kindful, the contact information and how you enter it can be the best thing about how you have good information. If you have any questions about how to maintain your Kindful database, we encourage you to reach out to our resources, such as adding a contact, creating or editing a group, using the import tool data tool, creating custom fields, or other articles like this that are available in our help desk. Or reach out to our amazing support team that is available to you using this help button down in the lower left-hand corner during business hours. It has been my pleasure to be with you today. And if you have any questions about Kindful or Kindful contact management, our team is here to support you. And we are so thankful that you are a Kindful Bloomerang customer.